Have you ever wondered what ethical hacking is and how it works? Today, we delve into the fascinating world of ethical hacking. In essence, ethical hacking, also known as penetration testing or white hat hacking, involves authorized attempts to gain unauthorized access to a computer system, application, or data. The goal? To identify security vulnerabilities that could potentially be exploited by malicious hackers. Ethical hackers are essentially the good guys of the cyber world. They use the same techniques as criminal hackers, but with one crucial difference. They have the permission of the system's owner. Their mission is not to cause chaos, but to improve security, to fortify digital walls, and to safeguard information. In our increasingly digital age where data is as valuable as gold, ethical hacking has never been more important. So let's embark on this journey to understand how ethical hackers are the unsung heroes of the digital world, working behind the scenes to keep our information safe. Ethical hacking isn't just about breaking into systems, it's a systematic process with several key stages. First and foremost, we have footprinting and reconnaissance. This is the stage where a white hat hacker gathers as much information as possible about the target system. They use tools like Nmap or WHOIS to gather details about the network. This way they're able to identify weak spots and potential points of entry. Next up is scanning networks. This technique is used to discover systems, open ports, and services available on a network. Tools like Nessus or OpenVAS come in handy here. They help identify vulnerabilities that can be exploited. Once the network has been thoroughly scanned, we move on to enumeration. Here, the ethical hacker extracts detailed information about the system's resources, shares, and user accounts. They might use NetBIOS or LDAP to gather this data. This stage provides a more in-depth understanding of the network, and it's like having a detailed map of the target system. Now let's talk about system hacking. This is where the ethical hacker attempts to gain access to systems and escalate privileges to compromise them. They might use a tool like Metasploit to exploit vulnerabilities and gain administrator rights. It's like picking the lock and stepping into the system. We can't forget about malware threats. Ethical hackers need to understand and be able to deploy different types of malware to assess vulnerabilities. For instance, they might create and deploy a controlled virus or Trojan to test how well the system can defend itself. Each of these stages is like a piece of a puzzle. They all fit together to form the complete picture of ethical hacking. They're all essential parts of the process, and skipping one could lead to overlooking significant vulnerabilities. Remember, the goal of ethical hacking is to strengthen a system's defenses, not to cause harm. Ethical hackers are the good guys, using their skills to protect systems and data from those with malicious intentions. Each phase of ethical hacking has its own unique role in strengthening a system's defenses. But ethical hacking isn't just about identifying vulnerabilities, it's also about understanding how attackers think and the techniques they use. Let's dive deeper into some of the advanced techniques in ethical hacking. One such technique is sniffing, which involves capturing and analyzing network traffic to gather information or intercept communications. Imagine a detective eavesdropping on a conversation, keenly picking up clues. That's what sniffing is like, only it's done on digital data. Tools like Wireshark are typically used for this purpose. Then we have social engineering. This is where psychology meets technology. It's about manipulating people into divulging confidential information. A classic example is a phishing attack simulation to test employee awareness. It's like a magician's trick where the hacker convinces the target to hand over the secret voluntarily. Next up, we have denial of service or DOS attacks. This is like a digital traffic jam. The attacker floods a network or system with traffic to exhaust resources and cause downtime. Tools like LOIC, the Low Orbit Ion Cannon, can be used to simulate a DOS attack. Session hijacking is another advanced technique. It's like a digital identity theft, where the attacker takes over a valid session between a client and a server to gain unauthorized access. Tools like Ettercap can be used to intercept and hijack active sessions, on to hacking web servers. Here, the ethical hacker compromises web server security to gain access to hosted applications and data. This could involve exploiting vulnerabilities in Apache or IUS servers using SQL injection. It's like finding a secret door into a fortress. Lastly, we have hacking web applications. This involves identifying and exploiting vulnerabilities in web applications, for example, using Burp Suite to find and exploit cross-site scripting vulnerabilities. It's like finding a crack in a wall and using it to infiltrate. By understanding these techniques, ethical hackers can better anticipate and defend against potential threats. Advanced ethical hacking is an art and a science, requiring a deep understanding of technology, creativity, and an analytical mind. It's about thinking like an attacker to protect against one. As technology evolves, so do the fields that ethical hackers need to understand. One such field is SQL injection, a technique where hackers inject malicious SQL code into queries to manipulate databases. This can bypass login authentication, giving unauthorized access to sensitive data. Another crucial area is hacking wireless networks. Here, hackers break into wireless networks to capture and analyze data, often cracking encryption using tools like air cracking. Equally important is the skill of evading IDS, firewalls, and honeypots. Ethical hackers must master techniques to avoid detection by security systems, such as using obfuscation and encryption. Lastly, the rise of cloud computing presents its own challenges. With data no longer confined to physical servers, ethical hackers need to understand how to navigate and secure these virtual environments. Staying current with these topics is essential for any ethical hacker who wants to stay one step ahead of potential threats. So, as we've seen, ethical hacking is a complex and ever-evolving field. We've journeyed through its various facets, from the initial steps of footprinting and reconnaissance to advanced techniques like evading IDS, firewalls, and honeypots. Each stage of the process is crucial in maintaining the integrity of our digital ecosystems. In the hands of ethical or white hat hackers, these methods become tools of defense, fortifying systems against malicious breaches. We've also explored the importance of ethical hacking certifications, which equip individuals with the skills necessary to navigate these complex tasks. This multifaceted discipline is not just about understanding the anatomy of attacks, but also about proactively seeking out vulnerabilities to bolster security measures. It's an endless game of cat and mouse, with new threats and countermeasures constantly emerging. Remember, in the world of cybersecurity, the best defense is a good offense, and that's exactly what ethical hacking provides.